Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. So we are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about Terraform state management, remote backend and state locking. So what are these features is and what it does actually, and we are going to see in real time as well. Okay, so we are going to do lab as well. So let's understand first what is state management. So whenever you create resources using Terraform script, Terraform will create one state file, okay, and that state file will have all the information about what uh, Terraform script have created, what kind of resources it created in any cloud environment. It will have all the information about that specific resources, okay. So a state file is also called heart of Terraform, okay. So remote backend. So what is remote backend? So whenever you create resources using Terraform, it will create one state file as well, and you can store your state file in some backend that can be S3 and some other storage system, okay. So you can store your state file there, and suppose if some user deleted your state file by mistake or something, then you can roll back to that specific version using that state file from S3, okay. So there is no business loss using whenever you have set up remote backend. And what is state locking? Okay, now what is state locking? So state locking is a feature that help us to avoid the corruption of state file of Terraform. So whenever you have a team of 10 DevOps engineer and they all are creating new resources and they are hitting just Terraform apply, okay. But at the same time, if everyone is hitting Terraform apply, then Terraform will get confused like which apply it should take first. So whoever user out of 10 will apply Terraform apply command, okay. Terraform will create lock using that Terraform locking mechanism and with help of DynamoDB, okay. So whenever we are going to use state locking mechanism, then we have to create DynamoDB table, okay. So only we can implement this feature. So whenever that one user done with his creating resources, then Terraform will release the lock, and user 2 can create his resources, and again Terraform will create lock for user 2. So there is no other user can create resources using that specific time, okay, on that specific time. So whenever user 2 is done, it will release the lock and it will create the resources of user 3, okay. So this is how state locking feature mechanism work, okay. So I have written some definition here as well. So let's go and try to understand it, okay. So the purpose of a state file. So Terraform state keep track of current state of your infrastructure. It record information about resources, their attributes and dependencies, okay. So state storage location. By default, Terraform stores state locally in a file named terraform tf.state. However, this approach is not recommended for collaborative or production use, okay. So whenever you are creating resources for any project or any client or for real-time environment, then you don't have to store your Terraform file on the local. You have to always set remote backend to store your state file, okay. So querying state. So Terraform provide command like Terraform state show, Terraform state list and Terraform stateful that allow you to inspect the detail stored in the state file, okay. So Terraform so benefit of remote backend, okay. So remote backends such as AWS S3, Azure Blob Storage or Terraform Cloud offer several advantages. Concurrent collaboration, multiple team members can work on the same project simultaneously without conflict. Okay, then we have remote backend. So configuring remote backend. To use a remote backend, you configure it using Terraform configuration. This involves specifying the backend type, example S3, Azure or Terraform Cloud as well. Okay. So migrating the remote backend. If you have transition from local state to remote backend, Terraform provide command like Terraform stateful and Terraform state push to help migrate your existing Terraform to remote backend. Okay, so we can use this command and we can pull and push our state file in backend. So state locking ensuring safe concurrent operation. Okay, the concurrency challenges when multiple user or automation system are managing infrastructure simultaneously, there is a risk of concurrent operation conflicting and causing issue. So as I told you, if there is no state locking mechanism, then Terraform will get confused. Okay, so which apply it should take first. So this is just explaining that topic. Okay, so locking mechanism, Terraform supports various locking mechanism depending on your choice of backend. For example, AWS S3, Azure Blob and Terraform Cloud built-in locking mechanism. So managing locks, Terraform provide command like Terraform state lock and Terraform state unblock to manage lock manually when needed. So we can do it use manually as well using Terraform state lock command, and we can unblock it as well, Terraform state unblock using command. So best practices. So implement automated lock management whenever possible to reduce manual intervention. So we are going to implement automated lock using DynamoDB table. Okay, so let me jump to terminal here. So I have written all the script here. So I am going to create S3 bucket, and apart from it I am going to create one DynamoDB table for state locking mechanism. Okay, and this all script belongs to my VPC tutorial. Okay, in which I have created VPC. So I am just going to create the VPC and the EC2 as well. Okay, and I am going to store backend our state file in S3. Okay, so I have commented it out for now because I want to create the state file first, then after that only we can store the state file in S3. Suppose if we don't have resources created, then there is no state file, then we can't store any state file because we don't have. So first we need to create resources, then only we can store the state file in S3. Okay, and we can implement state locking mechanism as well. So for that, let me open the terminal here, and this script main.tf, go to here, and I am just creating the simple bucket here. And for DynamoDB table there is one documentation available. Okay, so here how you can create DynamoDB table. Okay, so and you can rename it. So you can rename it and you can use it in your code, but I have already pushed this code to my GitHub repo. You can use it for your practice as well. Okay, so let me go here, and I have access key and secret key. So let me run AWS configure. Let me paste my access key, then let me paste my secret key, by default our region is US East 1 and we are going to create our resources in US East 1. Okay, so Terraform init to initialize the repository. So let me see if we have logged into our AWS account. So we have logged in our AWS account. Okay, and if we open S3, let me open the S3 file, sorry, S3 service. So here we cannot see any like bucket with name of Bipin as I have mentioned in the code, Terraform code. So first we have to create it using Terraform. I am going to check our configuration. Terraform validate. So configuration is valid and Terraform plan to see the plan whatever resources Terraform script is going to create. Plan 9 to add, 0 to change and 0 to destroy. Okay, so now let's run Terraform apply hyphen auto hyphen approve. Okay, so Terraform will start creating resources. So it's creating VPC first, as we can see. So our resources is getting created and Terraform state file, as you can see now state file is also getting synced. Okay, so let me see what error we are getting. Creating easy to instance unsupported on your requested instance T3 not supported on your choosing on if status code 400 ID. Okay, so we have to use not T2 T2.micro. Okay, so let's save it and run Terraform apply again. Okay, so it will create the resources again. Plan 1 to add because it was not able to create T3.micro as I have mentioned the availability zone. According to that the AMI was not available. Okay, so it's throwing the error. So I have changed the instance type to T2.micro. Okay, so our instance is now getting created. So let's wait for few seconds and as you can see here we have Terraform state file. So it's containing all the information that our Terraform script have been created in AWS account. Okay, so it created DynamoDB table and DynamoDB table name is Terraform log as I have mentioned in a script, and it created AWS instance that name is prod EC2. Okay, and all the information that Terraform script created it have. Okay, so till now we don't have set up any remote backend. Okay, we just have Terraform state file locally. Okay, so we want to push this Terraform state file to this bucket Bipin S3 demo world of AWS bucket. Okay, so how we can do it? We have here remote backend script as well. So we have to uncomment it and let me save this file. Okay, so now let me run Terraform init first. Enter a value, yes. So what it's saying, do you want to copy existing state to new backend? Yes, I want to copy. So I have enter value, that is yes. Okay, and then after that we have to run Terraform plan. What is going to do actually? Okay, acquiring a state lock. This may take few seconds, few moments. Okay, so it's refreshing all the resources, whatever resources we have created. Okay, so plan 1 to add, 0 to destroy, change 1. Okay, to destroy 0, 1 to destroy. Okay, so Terraform apply -- auto approve. So acquiring a state lock. So we can go to our here in AWS management DynamoDB. Let's open DynamoDB table, and we can see here there is one table will get created. Okay, just go to tables, and as you can see here, Terraform log table have been created by our Terraform script. Okay, and if we go to here in S3 bucket, then we can see bpin S3 demo world of AWS bucket have been created, and the path of that our Terraform state. Okay, so key is the path, nothing that this is the path where we want to store our Terraform state file. Okay, so this is the folder under bpin, as we have mentioned bpin, then terraform.tf state. Okay, so go here, and as we can see terraform.tf state, and there is one file. This is our state file. Okay, so enable bucket versioning, it's asking for. We have enabled bucket versioning as well. So whenever you make changes in your Terraform script, so there will be one another version. Like suppose if you are pushing your Terraform code for the first time, then it will create version 1, then version 2, or you can like manually manage your versioning as well. Okay, so this is our Terraform state file, and this is our DynamoDB table that is helping us to create lock mechanism on Terraform. Okay, so that this is all about state management and packet management and lock mechanism in Terraform. Okay, so I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, then do let me know in the comment section, and I have already pushed this code to my GitHub repository. I will provide the link in description, so don't worry, you can practice as well, and you can understand it in real time manner. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.